and a relationship. The fourth thing that I would say is subscribe to Poets and Writers, Writer's Digest, other magazines which let you know about competitions, conferences, fellowships where you can meet other writers. That is very important. It's very important to meet people and talk to people who are doing what you're trying to do, because writing can seem pretty lonely. You meet people all the time. I want to write a book. I want to write a novel. It's nice to be around people who are not only saying that, but who are also aiming to do that with their actions. You can also find out about a lot of great fellowships. I won an Illinois Arts Council fellowship in 2001. I also won my first fiction award at the Chicago State University Black Writers Conference in 2002 for my short story card parties, which I'm actually turning into a novel. I found out about these competitions through Poets and Writers magazine. Not only did they put a little money in my pocket, but they also really inspired me and put it in my mind that I may be a real writer. You kind of really need that. You need that inspiration. You need milestones that you can keep track of to keep going. The fifth thing that I would tell you to do would be to make sure that you are not just sharing your writing with yourself. Some people want to be like Emily Dickinson and go write and never publish and never show their writing to anybody, and that's fine if you have that aspiration. However, if you want to publish, which is what I'm specifically addressing here, it's very important to make sure you're not the only one looking at your writing before you send it out. And this goes for me even to this day. I always have another eye on some work. You have to share the work. Find other people that you trust and who will give you a very, very honest opinion. I can tell you what not to do. Be very hesitant about paying people who say that they're going to whip your manuscript into shape for you and get you an agent and make you all these false promises. I've heard so many heartbreaking stories about people who spent a lot of money on editing services that were not necessarily legit. A legitimate editing service will not just be an ad on Craigslist. You will have a professional who has some type of degree, usually in publishing, English, and who actually has a website, business cards, an actual mailing address, and the names and contact information for people that you can contact that they have worked with before. You also need to get the guide to literary agents. It is very difficult to have a manuscript fall in front of an editor without an agent. I've heard that it used to be a lot easier, but that's really not the case anymore. The Guide to Literary Agents actually helped me to secure a couple of agents before I found the agent who sold my book. It's very important to pick up this book, thumb through it, figure out what the agent's requirements are, and send your work out. You need to set aside a budget for yourself to account for mailing costs, printing costs, and also if you want your postage or your manuscripts mailed back to you, you need to include a self-addressed stamped envelope. It can be very costly, but it is worth the sacrifice. Anything that is worth it in life is about working very hard for it. And the final thing that I want to say to anybody who has taken the time to watch this video is thank you, and don't give up on your dream. Some people wrote for years and years and years and years, and nothing happened. No one saw their work. They felt like no one ever would see their work. And then all of a sudden, something happened where that was made possible. Write because you love writing. Learn to love writing. Learn to love what it does for you. Learn to love how you feel when you do it. Learn to love the stories that you tell yourself, and find some peace in being able to create and use a gift that God has given you. Find outlets for yourself. Make your own website. Put your work up on your MySpace page. If you want to self-publish, by all means, do so. But don't forget that you do have a gift, and that with tenacity and endurance, your dream will come true in ways that you may have never even imagined. So it sounds like a cliche, but do not give up. I received so many rejection letters. I still get rejection letters, actually, with 2 novels on the shelf, if you can believe it. I will send stories out, and it still happens to me. But just dust your shoulders off, try again, keep writing.